Joining us now is Paul Ejime, an international affairs analyst. Good evening and welcome to you.
Thank you, Kenny. Happy New Year.
Yes, the same to you. All right, let's quickly look at this issue because ECOWAS has started playing hardball on what looks like a cat and mouse game being played by Malian transitional authorities. Will these sanctions work?
So, that is a big question, whether ECOWAS can walk the talk. But let's face it, the world and I think has no appetite for military rule. So what the junta is doing is just buying time. And what they are doing now, they have thrown, the kitchen sink. They've gone for broke. Doing tit for tat with ECOWAS. But whether the sanctions will work is another issue. And one would have expected ECOWAS to approach this from a higher level of maturity. Knowing it's like a child that is becoming irritant, and then you need to bring them to what is ECOWAS looking for? Are you going to punish millions of people because of just a few military adventurists? That is the bigger question that ECOWAS should be looking at, and not just punishing these people. And this is unprecedented, by the way. It has never happened in the history of ECOWAS. And the point is, what is the end game? If you are going to get them to the table, is that the way to go? Knowing also that the ECOWAS leaders, some of them are not playing by the rules. They've been carrying out what you call political and constitutional coups. And the military has just come to bring in their own. Because these leaders will come hard and very strong against civilian protesters. But these people have the weapons. That is the difference. But ECOWAS can do without this type of, for a new year, for that matter. I think they should be looking at, ECOWAS should be more state-manly. Go ahead and then get these people to the table. And 5 years is out of the question. But if you are saying they cannot hold the election next month, has ECOWAS provided any timeline?
Now that you have mentioned about the citizens themselves, the normal innocent citizens, these sanctions are becoming too hard on an already impoverished population. Where do we go from here?
And that is the big question. Is ECOWAS, are the ECOWAS leaders looking at the big picture? Because this will hurt ordinary Malians the more. Already facing insecurity, bad governance, pandemic, COVID pandemic. So I think that should have run through the minds of ECOWAS leaders to say, well, listen, are we going to escalate or de-escalate this conflict? Because what they are doing now is that escalation. And you see the Malian military kicking, they have very little to lose, but the millions of Malians and then the whole region, the region that is already, very restive and scared by insecurity.
So what would you advise ECOWAS do now?
I think they have to engage. Get these boys, get this. By the way, Goita is 37. And then it's like in a family, you have a child that is misbehaving. Do you use a sledgehammer to kill a mosquito? You have, I think, that strategy of engagement, of getting them to understand that what the routes they are towing, there is no thorough way there. You can use carrot and stick, yes, bring pressure, but don't use disproportionate one, because this is disproportionate and it's likely going to hurt ordinary, not the people that are being targeted. And that is the reason. And so the thing to do, engage with them, sit down with them and tell them, listen, 5 years is out of the question. Come back and do something. 12 months or thereabout. Remember, they had talked about 18 months, but they now came back on it. Of course, you cannot remove their intransigence and then the fact that they are playing their hands. They're just using this as a bargaining chip to see how far. ECOWAS should now play, the role of a father and say, well, yes, you are asking for this, but this is what I can give you. So one is saying that ECOWAS should use its authority, but don't use it in a way that will even throw away the baby with the bathwater.
But finally, how do you see this face-off between ECOWAS and the military junta in Mali? playing out?
It's unnecessary, if you ask me. And that is because from the beginning, the strategy has not been that straightforward. These are two, bad faith actors. First, the ECOWAS leaders. Some of them were there when things were going bad in Mali, and they didn't do anything about it. Now they are coming hard on the military. It's a case of self-preservation, that they don't want what has happened to Keita to happen to them. But the guarantee is not sanctions. Okay. It is good governance. It is letting people enjoy the dividends of democracy to ensure peace and security. You cannot legislate that. You can't even bring it by fiat. Let them deliver, the leaders. And the people, too, must ask questions of their leaders, demand accountability.
Thank you very much, Paul Ejime. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be speaking with Paul Ejime, an international affairs analyst on the situation in Mali.